Hello guys, welcome back to another chess video. This is Amit here, and today I'll be showing you a game played between Grigoriev and Alekhine. To begin with, Grigoriev was a four-time Moscow champion in Russia. So he had actually won the Russian tournaments in the year 1921, 1922, and 1923 and 1929. So he was a four-time Russian champion, and he had played with Alexander Alekhine in the year 1915 and 1919, and he was known for his king and pawn endgame play. In the king and pawn endgame play, when only the king and the pawns are there, he was known to be an expert for that. When in 1935, French magazine organized a tournament for king and pawn endgames. He won almost 10 out of the 11 awards which were given away. So he was known for his best king and pawn endgames. And to talk about something about Alexander Alekhine, he was two times world champion from the year 1927 to 1935 and 1937 to 1946, and he was the fourth world champion. And in this game he actually played with Grigoriev, and in the year 1915. Off the board, Grigoriev and Alekhine were both friends, and they had good relations with each other. So in this game, actually, Grigoriev was with white pieces, and Alekhine was with black pieces. Here Alekhine played the French opening, and the game opened with e4, e6, d4, d5, nc3, nf6, bishop to g5, bishop to b4. These are standard opening moves, and here black goes h6 and tries to exchange the bishop for the knight, and the knight is taken by white, and black gets compensation by taking the bishop. So he takes the bishop, he takes the pawn on the g7, and the pawn on the g7 falls. Rook g8, h4, gh4, queen g5. Now white tries to build up pressure on the g8 square and tries to attack the black rook on the g8 by bringing the bishop to d3. Now black goes back to e7. So here black loses a tempo by playing the bishop to b4 once and then to e7 once. So all these simple points like tempo and move gain will all affect the game as the game progresses. We will see that in the game. And so here white plays g3, c5, triple o, knight c6, and he takes the pawn. Queen comes to h5 till here, a5 till here. It was slightly better for white, but now here white plays king b1 and e5, attacking the queen. The queen has to now move to some other square, so which he moves to h5. Now if rook takes the pawn, queen gives check, and knight takes the d5, and knight f6 threat is coming. So bishop e6. Now here comes the mistake by white. He takes the pawn on the d5 square. He goes on a pawn grabbing spree, and he grabs the pawn on the d5. Now black bishop takes the knight on the d5 square, and rook takes the bishop, and knight comes to b4. So here black is attacking the white king on the b1, and here now white takes the pawn on the e5 square and allowing black to castle on the queen side. Currently he may not be able to castle because his bishop is pinned, but now once he gives check on the a2 square, king comes to c1 and triple o. Now he cannot take the bishop on the e7 because queen a1 check is a mate. So bishop to d3 is played, and queen h1 is played. Takes. Now if he captures the bishop on the e7, then rook comes to d3 and it's a check, and king has to come to e2, and soon it's going to be a mate. So he doesn't allow for that, and he plays king to e3. Now bishop to f6 attacking the rook, and queen to f5 giving check, and king b8. Now the king escapes from that check, and rook comes to e4. Now if queen takes the bishop, then the knight may grab the bishop, and rook may come to open file and try to attack the black king. But here maybe if queen takes the bishop, then knight comes to here in this position. If queen takes the bishop, then probably knight to d5 is a double attack, because the queen, let me show you, if queen takes the bishop, the knight comes to d5, and rook takes the knight, and queen takes the queen, and it's a piece up for black. So he could not actually take the bishop, so instead he played rook to e4, trying to prevent the check on the d4 square. So here rook captures the bishop, pawn captures. Now bishop to d4 is a check. Now if rook takes the bishop on the d4, then knight comes to c2 and it's a check, and king moves anywhere. King cannot move to f3 because of a double attack. King can move to f4, and knight takes the rook, and this game king is out in the open. So black can casually attack the white king, and he may be able to checkmate him. So so white didn't take the bishop on the d4 and moves the king to f4. Now king to f4 has given an opportunity for black to take the pawn on the f2. He took, and here at this point Grigoriev resigned the game, because now if king moves here, then rook gives check. Wherever the king moves, either to g5 or to g4, the rook gives check, and this queen on the f5 square is actually lost. So there is no way to stop the queen from getting taken off the board. So at this point Grigoriev resigned the game. So hope you like this video. If you like this video and are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you all for watching.